Hi everybody, this is Ruth Royal from Youth Pledge for Employers, and I'm really pleased to be here today with Sharon Eaton, who is Managing Director at Biochannel Partners. Sharon, thank you so much for giving up your time to see us.
You're welcome.
So Sharon, first of all, tell us a little bit about what Biochannel Partners does.
Biochannel Partners is a partnering and training company.
Right.
We work with organisations in the life sciences industry and biotech and analytical, so scientific related companies. And we help manufacturers to find distributors in export markets. And we also do training to help the channel partner manager who manages the relationships with the partners that they form. So we do training courses to help them to manage the relationship more effectively.
Oh my goodness, that sounds sort of really technical. Do you need sort of specific skills to be able to do that well?
On the training side of things, it's we do that over Zoom, so it's
brilliant.
Not too technical. We did used to do it in the classroom, but because of COVID, we moved on to Zoom. And we find that's actually very effective because you can go into breakout rooms and all that kind of stuff. So the training side of things, delivery of the training side of things is straightforward enough, but the trainers do need to have tacit knowledge of how to manage the relationship with channel partners and motivate them and inspire them to work more effectively. So that's the training side of things. On the channel partner recruitment side of things, we have channel partner recruitment. It is a bit niche. It is a bit niche. If you think about a normal recruitment agency where our company helps or a recruiter would help you to find an individual to work for your company. What we do, we help manufacturers to find not individuals, but partners. We help them to find channel partners in export markets. So say you were a UK manufacturer of some kind of scientific widget. Because the industry is so niche, you need to go global really, really quickly. There wouldn't be enough business in one country to, because the products are very niche. So you need in our industry to get your product to market as soon as possible, and the quickest way of doing that is to find channel partners in other markets. So we would look for, say it was a UK manufacturer looking for a distributor in France or Poland or wherever. We would help them to find a company who's already visiting their customers in that country and who has products in their portfolio that are complementary. So it's like a recruitment agency, but it's to find companies rather than individuals. But it's the same kind of skills that you need. It's kind of recognizing what somebody needs and recognizing what they should be looking for, and then qualifying the candidates.
That is so interesting, because I sort of wonder, with like recognizing those sort of looking for those sort of the right sales channel partnerships and those sorts of things, you must need to have do you have sort of existing people that you think, so Ruth's built this scientific widget and that actually I need to get it to market really quickly, and you think there might be a market base in Germany, for example, I don't know, but actually would you have like employers, sort of organizations in your mind, or that you're aware of that would be suitable, or do you have to sort of go out and research from scratch as well?
Well, we've been building up the database for 20 years now.
Wow.
So it's what we have is manufacturers, and we in the partners, 26,000 companies in the database.
Gosh.
We have manufacturers, and we have them categorized by product type and by application and industry type, that kind of thing. And then we have distributors who also have those attributes, and we've set up the system that distributors acquire the attributes of manufacturers. So I can say, right, I'm looking for molecular biology equipment. I'm a molecular biology equipment manufacturer, and I'm looking for a distributor in Taiwan. So I would just use the filters in the database to identify, distribute, and there might be 100 of them come up, and then you've got to go through and qualify the ones that look like the closest match. It's a bit like a sales funnel, really. You've got
Yeah.
a list, and then you say, right, they're close, they're close, they're closer, they're closer, and then you get a short list. So we have the manufacturers and the distributors pre-qualified to help get to get to the short list faster.
So for doing that sort of work, it seems to me that you must need like really good attention to detail in terms of actually what you're looking for. You need to be really sort of focused on somebody's requirements and to have that attention to detail to be looking for the right thing for them.
Absolutely. I believe that the trick is to have a very, very clear idea of what you're looking for in the beginning, because it's so easy to get sidetracked.
Yeah.
So the first thing to do is to when we're working with a company, we'll say, right, we need to put together your ideal channel partner profile.
Right. Okay.
So we put down all the attributes of the ideal partner, and that's what we focus the search on, because it's so easy to get distracted. And that's why a lot of manufacturers have trouble finding distributors, because they're it's complicated. There's lots of variations. There's lots of people that come up to you at a trade show, a manufacturer go to a trade show in Germany or whatever, and there'll be hundreds of channel partners going past and saying, I'd like to be your channel partner. But you need to know who you're looking for before you take them on. You need to have very, very strict criteria, otherwise it'll take you forever to find them.
That is so interesting. So what other sorts of skills might you need to do this type of work, as well as that attention to detail?
Attention to detail and tenacity, because it is a numbers game in a way. The way that we do it, we say, right, get your top 20 companies that you think have got the right kind of products in the portfolio that your customer their products will fit right in. They're already visiting the customers. So you get the top 20 companies. But the first time you contact these companies, you might not get an answer. The second time, you might not get an answer. It might be 8 to 10 times you get an answer, and you might have to contact them in different ways, by email, via LinkedIn, via Facebook, via their website contact pages. And you would need to identify several people in the company that you could approach in all these different ways. And what we're trying to do really is to get an answer. Are you interested or not? And here's why we feel that you should be interested. So it's kind of a lot of distributors can be really, really busy, and they don't answer right away. And we try to find out whether they're really not interested or they're just too busy right now to answer. So it's you've got to be really, really persistent and not give up too easily. But the customers the manufacturers who are looking for distributors are just delighted with this service, because they don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
But we have a process.
It sounds really, the fact you've been going so long, it sounds like a very successful process as well. So it seems to me that you sort of said that you kind of need that resilience and that tenacity. You obviously need to be able to research on things like LinkedIn, on different sort of platforms online, to be able to find the right people to go to, and then essentially to be able to promote the benefits of what is on offer. But also you need to have the listening skills and the piece from having spoken to the manufacturer in the first place to be able to identify what it is that is important and why, in terms of how it needs to get to market. So that's amazing. It's almost like, this is really simplistic, Sharon, but this is how I roll. It's almost like a dating agency for scientific products, like getting them out to the right person for them.
It's exactly like that, and I have a bit of fun.
Much more specialist and technical, I appreciate. But
no, I use that when I'm at a trade show, because when you go to these big international trade shows, or even within the UK, you have booths in a row. And they're all manufacturers, all who are looking for distributors. So you just pop from booth to booth to booth and say, this is us and this is what we do. But quite often I would say, well, we have a dating agency. And they go, oh. There you go, for manufacturers and distributors. Yeah, okay. So I use that quite a lot. It's fun.
I know that's exactly how I sort of saw that in my mind. Oh, that's really interesting to understand about the skills that, you know, to do that sort of role. How did you get into this? Because it seems like such a niche thing to do, and you work with some really big organisations as well.
Um, well, I was a channel partner manager. I was the person within the manufacturing company who managed the relationship with distributors, and I found that it was quite tricky to find a new distributor. There was no signpost to distributors. It was just hit or miss, go to a trade show and you might happen to come across somebody who's vaguely suitable. There was no way of doing it. So when I was a channel partner manager, I decided to, I thought that this needed to get addressed. So I took a year out and did an MBA and interviewed lots of channel partner managers who were doing the same role that I was, just to verify that the issues that I was having was the same as other people. Well, it turned out that the two big things that came out of that research project from the MBA was channel partner recruitment. It's really, really hard to find them. And the management and leadership of your channel partners, because they don't work for your company. They work for another person's company, so you can't be directive, you can't tell them what to do. It's more of a leadership role. Managing a company outside your organization is quite different to managing somebody within your organization. You've got no power or authority over them. And a lot of channel partner managers didn't have training in that or how to do that. There was no training out there on how to manage a relationship with these external partners, and there was nobody out there that was doing the matchmaking between manufacturers and distributors in our industry anyway. I thought, right, I'm going to do that.
Oh, brilliant!
Our industry needs it. I'll fix it.
I love that you took the experience that you gained from doing something and identified that there was almost a way to do that better and a way that you could do that better yourself. I love that sort of initiative. Do you think you've always been like that sort of person who's just been really kind of like, yes, you know what, I can do that, really focused, or is that something you've learned along the way?
I guess it's always been a little bit like that to a degree, but it wasn't. I wouldn't have had the confidence to set up my own business until I did the MBA. I did the MBA because I wanted to get a job at a higher level.
Yeah,
doing this kind of work at a higher level, and to get. I've always wanted to know, right, what's the nuts and bolts of this job? What's going on behind? So, like when I was when I was working in a laboratory, I wanted to know how does marketing work? I don't know anything about the commercialization side. So I went and did the Chartered Institute of Marketing because I wanted to get better at the job, and I didn't know anything. So I thought, right, okay, I want to get better at this channel partner management job. So I thought, right, okay, I need to go do an MBA. And while I was doing the MBA, it occurred there was a module on entrepreneurship, and I thought, oh, hang on a minute,
might be me.
I could do that. so yeah, I just did it straight after the MBA. I just set the business up. That was over 20 years ago.
God, that's fantastic. I love that sort of that it sounds to me as well like that you're a natural sort of lifelong learner. Like your professional curiosity has driven your career. That's such a sort of fascinating attribute to have. And we've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs, and that's a real theme that comes through, that sort of curiosity about things, and that, I'll just do it all. I wondered, Sharon, if you were to go back and have a conversation with your younger self, and say, and give that give Sharon a piece of careers advice, just starting out from school or whatever your journey was, what do you think that bit of careers advice would be?
Do you know, I think that it would be good if what I would have done if I'd have known about it back then, I would have done a psychometric test. I would have done.
How interesting.
Okay, what are my real natural skills, and gone into a career that plays to that rather than against it. If I had known that 20 years ago, because you can do all these sort of psychometric tests, the Kiersey and all the hats and all that kind of stuff, but it helps you to realize what your strengths are, and quite often that matches up with what you like doing, but it can help you to maneuver your career. You're more likely to be successful if you're doing something that you're naturally really good at. But it's also pretty good to know what you're not good at.
Yeah.
Because when I first started the business, when you're starting up a business, you have to be good at everything. And I'd always worked for big organizations, and there was people that did the accountancy and the marketing and all this kind of stuff, and I just focused on the job that I was going to do. But when you start up your own business, you have to be good at everything. So it became really, really clear to me the things that I wasn't good at. And initially I was beating myself up about it. Why am I so bad at this? And it was really, really hard. And then I did these psychometric tests and I said, well, I'm really bad at that, but the counterbalance of that is that I'm really, really good at this other thing. And you can't be good at both, but you can, it's a continuum. But I stopped beating myself up about the things that I wasn't good at and just find a way around that, find people to work with me to do the bits that I really didn't like doing and I wasn't very good at anyway. So starting out, I'd say get some kind of analysis about where your real skills are and what you like doing, and then work out a career path that plays to that.
Sharon, that is just a fantastic note to end on. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been great to speak to you.
You're welcome. I hope it's useful.
Thank you.